Good morning, children. This is Mrs. Sanju Malim from Springfield School, Masaptang, biology teacher for class 9. Children, actually this video was prepared for your SA2 revision, but now since you have this in your FA3, I am sending you this video of lesson number 9, adaptations to different ecosystem. Though you have watched the regular videos of this lesson, this video is consisting of only the question and answers. Kindly watch the video attentively, understand the concept clearly. My first question is, what is an ecosystem? An ecosystem is a community of living creatures, plants, animals, including humans and microorganisms in a certain region. Each member of the ecosystem interacts with each other and non-living parts of its environment, such as water, air, climate, and sunlight. You can also say that the ecosystem refers to the combined physical and biological components of the environment, that is, interaction between the biotic and the abiotic factors. Yes. So what do we learn from this? That ecosystem is consisting of both living and non-living things. Living things like plants, animals, human beings, and non-living things like air, water, sunlight. So it is the interaction between these two, biotic and the abiotic. Now when we come to the classification of the ecosystem, ecosystem is consisting of the abiotic factors and the biotic factors. As I told you before, biotic factors means the living things. They can be producers like plants which produce the food, and consumers or the decomposers. Consumers are the animals and decomposers are the bacteria. Consumers again can be primary consumers, which are herbivores, secondary consumers called as the primary carnivores, and the tertiary consumers called the secondary carnivores. Abiotic factors are such as sunlight, water, air, climate, etc., humidity. Now, what are xerophytes? Xerophytes are the desert plants. Any plant adapted to life in a dry or physiologically dry habitat like salt marsh, saline soil, or acid bog by means of mechanism to prevent water loss or to store available water. Succulent plants that store water such as cacti, agaves have thick fleshy stems or leaves. So what do you understand from this? That xerophytes are the plants that are adapted to live in deserts. And you should also learn some names of the desert plants and animals. It is there in the PDF. Try to go through it. Now what are the features of the xerophyte? Xerophyte plants have the survival characteristics such as they have thick cuticle to prevent the loss of water, stomatal closure, stomatas are closed, reduction in the number of stomata, very few stomata hidden in crypts or depressions in leaf surfaces. Reduction in the size of the transpiration surfaces, that is, the leaves are spiny, they are needle like, so the transpiration is reduced, and increase water storage by having the succulent stems. Can you see here some succulent xerophytes with the fleshy leaves? Yes. Yes, aloe, agave, haworthia, bryophyllum, peperomia, kalanchoe. There are many in your textbook also. Then how are the xerophytes adapted? Cacti, that is very, this is the slide of cactus. It's a very common desert plant. You know, desert plants are also kept at homes as the ornamental and decorative pieces. They are even gifted as birthday gifts. Xerophytes such as cacti are capable of withstanding extended periods of dry conditions as they have deep spreading roots and capacity to store water. The leaves are waxy and thorny that prevents the loss of water and moisture. Even their fleshy stems can store water. These points are there in the PDF. You can go through that and learn. And this is here just to revise you that they have long meters of roots to which go in search of water. They have fleshy stems which store water. They have spiny leaves which reduces the chances of losing water. So these are the adaptations of the xerophytes. Now let us see how are camels adapted to live in desert. The two main adaptations that desert animals must make are how to deal with the lack of water and how to deal with the extremes in temperature. Since water is so scarce, most desert animals get their water from the food they eat, succulent plants, seeds, or the blood and the body tissues of their prey. Camels have a hump which stores fats for a long period of time. This enables the camel to go without food and water for a long period of time. Yes, these are the few more adaptations. As you can see here, they have long and bushy eyelashes to keep out the sand and sun. They have slit-like nostrils which are able to open and close to prevent the sand. They have leathery mouth tough for chewing thorny plants. They have webbed twin-toed feet to prevent it from sinking into the sand. They have leathery knee pads for kneeling. They have strong sturdy thighs, and they have hill-like humps used for storing water. They can go without eating for a long time. Children, I hope you all understood the concept. My request is to start learning the answers from the PDF. Don't waste time. The F3 is approaching very soon. So please, I hope you understood the concept and wish you all good luck for your preparations. Thank you very much for watching this video.